Okay, I'm gonna hope this is up and running now. So hopefully we get everybody coming over. It's OBS for some reason deciding that they're gonna stop streaming, and it just shut off the stream. And unfortunately, I gotta go through the hoop jumping of getting it restarted. So we'll just give it a minute here as we wait. It's a real pain, that is. So hopefully everyone will find their way back to us here. All right, let's get that pinned again. Doesn't happen often, but it happens more often than it should, which is a real pain in the butt. All right. So make sure everything's running nice and smooth. Kevin Warren, hello, welcome. Yeah, give it a bit of a kick. So hopefully everybody will be able to find their way back into the stream. Anyway, I'm going to jump inside the aircraft and we'll start getting her set up. There we go. Alright. So, power's coming on. Fuel pump's on. Mixture full rich. Throttle will crack. Oh, stop your beeping. Beacon light is on. Nav light's on. And start. There we go. So engine is up and started. So like I was saying, not sure when it actually cut out, is we're going to go do a flight up through Snowdonia National Park. We're then going to head out towards the Isle of Anglesey, and then come out of that we're going to follow the north coast of Wales around to basically Chester and be landing out there. Alright, so my altitude I'm going to shoot for is about 2,500, and we'll adjust as we go. You guys are of course are free to kind of arc around and do what you want. And heading wise, because we're on the preset, the winds are very light out of the west, so we're basically going to head south and then loop around the airport. We can go with a slight 1 or 2 knot tailwind. That is all fine. Hey Wayne, nice to see that you've made it. Alright, so we don't need that. So taxi lights are on. We'll go flaps 1. Flaps fully down when I styled. There we go. Okay, we're going to flaps 1 for takeoff. And I think we're pretty much good to go. So let me just clear this and I'll set up my PFD the way I like it. Winds 3 and back, and CDI goes to that, and transponder goes VFR outload, and clear that. All right, so I think we're pretty much good to go here. Is everybody back? Well, we're up to 10 people, so that should be everybody pretty much back. All right, so I'm going to ignore this guy here. And we'll just squeak around him. You're on the edge of 35. Yeah, I'm gonna go the other way. I don't feel like taxiing all the way down that taxiway, and it's not that windy out, so I'm gonna take off with a slight tailwind. I think Christian's just gonna take off vertically, so he doesn't have to worry about wind. So follow me. So what you're seeing from my point of view, this is the freeware airport off of flightsim.to. Oh, some nice clouds over the hills there. Eastbird's are going to take up the tail. Yeah, 2500 should be okay. We'll see. We are flying into the Welsh Valleys, so I have to be a little bit on the ball. Here's runway 15. So Eastbird's in similar. You guys are just sitting over there. You all right? Similar is moving. Christian's up. Not sure where he went. He got out of there pretty fast. And Eastbird's all right. Good enough. And off we go. Takeoff power is set. Knots, and up we go. I just got passed by a mighty mackerel. Turn out to the west. We're going to do basically a 180 and come around. Parallel the field. Flaps can come up. Lovely. Oh, Eastbirds, I hope everything's okay. You're still sitting on the ramp there. Alright, let's head off on course. Go similar. Oh, Dark Fury's down there. Good to see you. We're just passing over you now, so you should be able to start up and catch up fairly quickly in the chopper. Of course, Eastbird should be able to pick up and catch up very quickly as well. Yeah, I can imagine it does. It's a lot of power in a small airframe there. Uh-oh. I'll tell you, you got the award for waking up Nightbot tonight. Dark Fury, hope everything's good with you. Looks like Eastbirds is taxiing out now. Of course, Dark Fury can just take off vertically and come and join us. We're now, this is Harlech. You know your Welsh history and your Welsh songs. There's the castle, Harlech Castle. No, I didn't like that. I really got to get in there and edit that list. There's a very famous song, Welsh choir song, Men of Harlech. Look it up. It's pretty impressive. That's Harlech Castle there on the coastline of Wales. Jump inside and see how we're doing. So we're coming up to 2,100 feet. All right. So we're almost up at cruise altitude. Some nice low cloud down to the tops of the hills here. Should make for some scenic flying. We're going across the little bay here, and just going to pull the power back slightly to 2450. There we go. So this is the little town of Porthmadog. We got the mountains coming up here. Wayne, I don't see you. You're not flying tonight? Kind of looking forward to the Spitfire. There's Christian. So we're heading up into the valleys here, the mountains. It's a little town of Prenteg. We head north. All right. Going to be following valleys and roads and stuff like that as we go up here. So I was reading, one of the things the sim got wrong was a lot of the Welsh mountaintops and stuff are bare. So this area is kind of over-treed a little bit. And I know someone came up with a mod that removed some of the trees, but it's very much scrubland and stuff on these hills. Yeah, Eastbirds, that's why I was suggesting everyone go to the Scattered Clouds preset. It looked okay at the start, but while we were waiting, it kind of where they fog rolled in and it was raining a little bit. So yeah, Christian, we're making a heading change. I'm doing a slight turn to the left, just following the valley here. But it is a beautiful area, this part of the countryside. It's a little town of Llanbedr. Now we're making a right-hand turn, and I think we're going to go up this valley here, where the little lakes are. Rock really stands out here. Unfortunately, I'm not spending a lot of time inside the cockpit, so I can't give you direct headings, but we're heading kind of northeast right now. Good little bit of formation practice going on behind me here. It's looking just incredible. Not sure if these little lakes have names. I'm sure they do. They're not showing up on the map I'm using. So we're into like the western side of Snowdonia National Park. Home of the largest mountain in Britain except for Ben Nevis up in Scotland, Mount Snowdon. It's 823 square miles, and it was first designated a national park in 1951. If you ever do get the chance to head up here and visit Snowdonia and Mount Snowdon, you can actually, if you do go, you can walk to the top of the mountain, or you can take a train. And it was a train that was built in the 1800s. It's still in operation, and if they're running them, you can go up on the an old steam railway. It's a cog railway, and it goes up the mountain. You can ride it all the way up to the top. And I've been up Snowdonia or Mount Snowdon a number of times, and I've only ever been up there once when I've been in nice blue sky. Every other time it's been either in cloud and mist, or it started off good on the ground. By the time I got up there, it had clouded in. So yeah, so we've changed again. We're following this road up this valley here, and we're heading up to Llanbedr, which is a town up here. Again, flying up the valley. You almost crashed eastwards. Well, I did warn you that we'd be flying in mountains and kind of down below the tops. See how rugged it is, and then it kind of flattens out here as we go forward. It's pretty impressive, yeah. This is a couple lakes here, and then on the left side we have the little village here, and that is Llanbedr. That is where they've done some mining up here. You can see how it's all terraced. One of the big things, I think it's slate that they get, and they used it for roofing for hundreds of years, and I think they still use it. So looks like they've done some mining along here, like the town down here in the lake on the left. And then we're going to head back under the plains, and this is like the north end of the Welsh mainland. It's one of my favorite places to visit in Britain is over here in Wales. There's the town. Alright. So if you've ever been to Maine in the United States, there's a town there called Bangor, Maine. Up here we have Bangor, Wales, which is what it's named after. And what we're coming up to, there's a channel that runs all the way through from side to side, and it separates Wales from, although this is part of Wales still, it's called the Isle of Anglesey. And this has a very historic significance of being basically the home of the Druids. And when the Roman army occupied Britain in the 1st century AD, or CE, whichever way you want to do it, it was they chased the Druids all the way to this island, which is their like last stand. It was their major home of Druidicism in Britain, and they were wiped out on the island. But this is where the spiritual heart of the old Celtic Druids was. Over here we have the town of Carnarvon, right on the coast, and we're actually going to cross over onto Anglesey. And I think we're going to go all the way up to RAF Valley, which is up on the coast here. And that is when you see the guys doing the mock loop and all that stuff with the British jets and that, a lot of them come out of that Air Force base. And they fly down the coast and then head in to do the mock loop. Still here? Yeah, everyone's still here as we come out of the mountains. A bit of a solar farm down there. So there's the channel. As you can see, it cuts right through, separating well, the main part of Wales, which is on the British Island, to the Isle of Anglesey here. And further up past, when you get up to the far tip up here, is the town of Holyhead, and that's where you would go to catch the ferry to Ireland. You can load your car on and take the ferry across the Irish Sea and then into Ireland direct. Well, the RAF is an Air Force. It's the Royal Air Force. But it's not only the RAF that fly in there. You get a lot of Americans in there as well, so that would be the USAF. If we might see, if we go all the way up to RAF Valley, I've got custom scenery for it, so we may, oh hi experts, we may see some of the jets and stuff sitting on the airfield. Town of Newborough. Nice forest here. I think this is a park. A heavily wooded, forested area here. See a picture back in the time the Romans were here, the whole island would have looked like this, all treed. A few little villages, but mostly this forest, ancient forest. Watching my fuel levels. Just looking at some of the name tags here. Very good. That's RAF Valley up over here. Hey Captain Matty, how are you doing today? A lot of Welsh names around here, which I'm sure I'm going to butcher at some point. Aberfoy, down below us. Wayne, we're not on VATSIM. All these community flights are done on the multiplayer within the flight sim, not on VATSIM. This looks like a little racetrack or something here. Yeah, definitely a racetrack. You got your first phone. What did you get? touch and go on the racetrack. I don't know if you can find a, well, I guess, yeah, there's some parts that are straight enough. You could probably do it. It'll definitely get their attention. Definitely get their attention if Donut went in and did it. Ah, nice. Well, congratulations there, Captain Matty. So there's our AF Valley. I'm going to head over towards it. I'm going to do a little cheat here for a minute. I know I forgot to throw the fuel in while I was getting her set up, so I'm going to do that now. So this is the add-on scenery for IF Valley, and should be able to see, all you can see over here is some of the heavier transport aircraft. I do got to do some low-level Welsh flying in my jet, so I'll be starting out over here. Yeah, you can see some aircraft there. Got a couple big transports. Looks like some training aircraft. It's a helicopter down there. And a whole bunch of little jets and trainers and stuff down on the ramp over here. Very nice. I was running through a little bit of clouds there. So in a minute we're going to make a turn to the right, and we're going to head back towards the main part of Wales and the town of Bangor. Should be making that turn in a minute. There we go. So then below us you can see the A55, that's the main highway that runs through the center of Anglesey all the way up to Holyhead. Okay, Wayne. North Europe server. That's critical, I think. See, the clouds are sitting right along the tops of the mountains there. Very distinctive engine, that PT6 on the front of that thing. So if you haven't been reading the Discord, these flights are going to change to Thursday nights. Gavin has said that he's going to be doing Friday night streams now at 19:30. So we don't want to interfere with that. So starting next week, for now, we will be on Thursday nights. 19:30 Zulu still. So hopefully it won't interfere with his streams. Another airport here. That's Bodford Airport. You can see it just to the right of this lake here. And from here we're gonna follow the coast. There are some pretty interesting places up along the coast here. Some neat towns, and there's a fortification where the highway basically goes right underneath it. Ah, okay. Oh, Nick, you were on the wrong server? I was wondering. I saw you say hi at the beginning, and then I hadn't seen you since. There's Talia doing her inverted flying. Oh, there you are, Nick. I see you back there. So we're heading back. We're going to make a little bit of a right turn again, and we're going to head down to Bangor. There we go. We have the large town here of Llanbedr. We should overfly Bangor directly. Then we're going to make a left turn, and we'll be following the coast. For a big chunk of the coast up and around the end there. We're not far, like Liverpool isn't far from where we're ending up, although we're still going to be in Wales. Liverpool's not that far, so we're slowly working our way northwards here. It's pretty good. There's Bangor coming up. Of course, we came out of that valley there and flew across and then over on that side. When we went up and did the loop. Some wonderful country fields here, all segregated out. They've probably been around for centuries. All right, so there's Bangor on the other side. Beautiful reflections on the water here. Tell ya, there's a bridge. It's probably very tempting for you. There's another one right there. Unfortunately, you won't be able to fly under it. No, we're actually going to go along the coastline, so we're not going back into the mountains. Yeah, it'd be good if we could fly under those. Sports track for a school. Whereas I think Bangor, Maine is a sub base for the U.S. Navy. There's our turn to the left. And we'll head up along the coast. Some really good ground definition here. Seeing the ridges and the little escarpments and stuff. It's very good. Kind of a little bit of a unique way the houses are laid out here. Very interesting. There's the hills. Dr. Magic, you're heading off on your own out there, or are you just going out to inspect the hills? See the clouds again, right at the tops of them. Going to enjoy the sights along the coast here. So the next big sim update's coming. I believe it's on the Tuesday or Thursday. It's going to be the Scandinavian update. Should be good. We'll see how much gets broken when that comes out. Next big the world update, so hopefully things will look nice over there. May have to do some flying in that area now that they're going to go in and do a bunch of improvements to it. Oh yeah, watching the football, eh? Yeah, a little bit distracted in the cockpit. Alright, shall I give this name a try? Little town here up against this mountain protrusion here. It's at Llanbedr in the Hawarden River. And then here on the other side, oh boy. Penmanoir, I think is how that's pronounced. Can I mention about Sunday? Yes, Dart. Yes, absolutely. So, as you know, on Sundays I stream currently the South African tour, which is starting at 1400 Zulu. But before that, if anyone's interested, on Sunday, Willie Canuck, who you all know from Gavin's streams and on the Discord, he hosts a radio show on Sky Blue Radio, and he does a lot of interviews with people, talks to them about various things, all flight sim, flight world, aviation related. But at the moment he hasn't had a couple interviews, so he's been having some guests on to talk about things. And this Sunday, again, 1300 Zulu, Sky Blue Radio, you can type that into Google and it'll come up. He is hosting our own Dark Fury as a guest on the radio show. So if you want to hear him talk, I'm sure he's going to be talking about his experiences in the flight sim and probably getting into the way he is starting to do his own, I don't know what you call it, liveries, livery creator for Microsoft Flight Sim. So 1300 Zulu if you want to catch it. I know I've always got it on as I get set up for my streams, so it's always a good time. And Willie plays some great music as well, so it's always a good Sunday listen. I'll just, in case anyone's wanting it, let me just... There's the link to it if anyone's interested in it. And then, of course, once the interview is done, you can come over and either watch the stream. Again, we're in the airliners in South America, or you can even come along, fly along. It should be... Oh. Subvet Sim. I see the aircraft there. Looks like we're going to have a Spitfire joining us. So this town here on this little promontory here, oh, there he goes, is Llanbedr. Very nice town. Very interesting place. And then if you follow it down along the coast here, you get the town of Conwy. And in here is where, if you're driving along the highway, along the coast, that is where you come up against the fort that is built into the side of the wall. And the road goes underneath the old fort. This is pretty cool. So there's the beach there at Llanbedr. Rather well-known beach in Britain. Or, well, Wales anyway. There we go. Make the turn. Keep following along. This is kind of a little bit of a resort area. Would have been very popular back in the late 40s, 50s, and 60s. So resort towns. There's another one further along at Colwyn Bay. Come on, Subvet, get up here. I want to see your Spitfire, see what it looks like. The I don't know, you British guys would know. Yeah, Dark, you're always welcome. Everyone's welcome on those on my streams. I mean, it's all part of the community, right? So anyone here remember those resorts that one guy had that everyone went to in the 50s and 60s? I think it starts with a B, but he had a whole bunch of them around England, and you know, after the war, not a lot of money, so he set up these little resorts. You'd go for a week, all the families. Let's see if I can remember what that was. Trying to remember the name. It was one guy. He did a really can't remember. I'm just trying to look it up to see if I can find his name. I'll know it as soon as I see it. Butlins, that was it. Butlins Resorts. Yeah. Oh no, you guys are typing Butlins into the chat. Yeah, Pontins was the rivals. There's actually an old resort down here in Colwyn Bay. I remember when I was over there once, we went in and took a look at it. And oh, Kierman, I don't know what you're flying, but man, you're moving pretty quick. I think you're in a jet. assuming Wayne's back there in the Spitfire. Yep, there he comes. Oh. There he goes. Nice clip wing. Again, not my favorite Spitfire, but any Spitfire will do. Oh, there he goes. So we're heading up to, we're going to come ashore in Rill, which is just up over here on the other side of this little river. Yeah, looks like Hawarden's flying a jet there. No, it's not strange, Kevin, because I have the Spitfire, the Payware Spitfire as well. So it's just pulling it out of my stock of aircraft. That's why I can see it. I just haven't done any flying in it yet. I'm just still trying to get time to dedicate a couple hours to flying circuits and getting the feel for it and going from there. It's like Hawarden's flying the Goshawk or the Hawk. I've got that one as well, which is why I can see it. The Hawk's fun. I got to get back in that thing and go do the mock loop in it. I got to learn the loop. Oh, there's another one. Astrolife. Good to see you guys. Oh, Astrolife, nice wing waggle there. Well done. So the big question is, does he know he's on YouTube? In this little corner of YouTube we have here. Who knows? Alright, so I think we're going to be turning south once we hit Rill, and we're going to do a little bit more of flying through the Welsh terrain as we head down towards Chester. There's more than one Spitfire out there, isn't there? He's in the Flying Iron one, which is the one I got. I think there's another one. And if I don't have that, because I don't have that one, it just goes to a random airplane. It's a little bit weird the way it does that. So we're turning back inland, heading southwards, kind of following this little river basin here. Again, very green soil, rich farming area. So, dark. Might want to, we've turned inwards, just so you know. So yeah, I got a few more videos I got to make and get recorded that finish up the Cross Canada series that I'm doing. And that'll be wrapped up, and then I can spend a little bit of time doing some flying through the Welsh Mountains, both in the Spitfire and in the jets, and I can do some stuff. And then we'll go with doing some flying in those, which is a lot of fun. And hopefully by that time the DC, oh, there he is. You got an orange nose on that thing? Cool. I haven't looked at the livery. Well, I think the liveries are the same for both the clip wing and the normal one, right? They're just transposed onto the different aircraft. I don't know. I downloaded, actually I've got custom liveries for mine. I got a Canadian paint scheme that I'm going to be flying when I get going with it. But hopefully, you know, within a week or so, the DC-6 will be out. And then I'm going to have to jump into that and spend a lot of time learning how to fly that thing. And doing that, we're going to make a little bit of a right-hand turn here. We're currently over St. Joseph. Just taking in the countryside. Beautiful scenery. Loving the look of that Spitfire. Yeah, Kevin, I think you're showing up as a Piper, PA-28, you know? Which is weird because I don't have the PA-28. But you're in some sort of Piper type of aircraft, so I don't know. Dark switched out. I got him in a Piper type of thing now too. Well, I thought he was in a helicopter, but I don't know. Sometimes I just close my eyes and ignore it. So we're kind of do this gentle curving southeast eastward arc around as we come up towards Chester, and well, sort of. Anyway, where we're headed to is Hawarden, and if you don't know where Hawarden is, it is, as I said, just outside Chester, but it's part of the Airbus assembly plant. So I have downloaded the freeware scenery on flightsim.to, so you'll see the big Airbus factories as we go in there. Now we're just going to fly along, check this place out. It's the town of Denby down here. And nicely situated, covered, surrounded by good farmland, a golf course. Yeah, going home with your Airbus, exactly. Just looking at the map, there's a place up here, I think on the other side of the mountains. It's a town called Mold. Interesting town name. Where do you live? Mold. Probably rather live in one of the Welsh named places, like Llanbedr, Llanbedr, Pennyford. Yeah. So interesting little fact when I was self-studying the history of Britain, was the Welsh language is pretty much the closest language spoken in Britain to the original Brythonic language that was in existence before the Romans arrived. Which is pretty cool. I don't know why I'm wiggling so much. Must be getting a little bit of wind coming over. So I don't know if we'll see it. You can kind of make it out down here at the bottom. Own them? Very similar. Oh, is that where you are? Okay. Making a bit of a turn here. But there's a canal that runs. If you come down this waterway down to the bottom, there's a canal that runs all the way down into Chester, and it's one of the original canals for bringing goods and stuff in the late 1700s. Well, similar, you can tell us how accurate the area is and how it looks, because we're going to be going right over it. So we're going to fly over Mold. And over Broughton, and then into the airport. So we're getting there. Bit of a circuitous route. I do like the way they show they can get the terrain here with the higher ground and then the drop. You can't see the drop, but you can see the lower ground beyond it. It's very cool. All right. So let me just get some information up for you guys about the airport. So there's one runway, 0422. Since the winds are kind of out of the west with this default weather, we're going to land on runway 22. So we're going to come in under south of the airfield, and we're going to fly down on a left downwind. It's a 6,800 foot runway. And I think we're going to where are we going to park? I think we'll do an exit to the right, and we'll park on across the runway from the Airbus factories. In fact, I think that's the airport right there. Oh, I should give you the elevation of the airport in case anyone wants it. Airport elevation is 50 or 45 feet, so circuit altitude of about 1,000 feet. And yeah, that looks like the airport right there. And here we have the beautiful scenic town of Mold coming up ahead of us. What's the smell? I take it it's not a pleasant one. And you kind of see that canal leads down there. All right. So like I said, we're going to come out and we'll go around, and then we'll come in and do a left-hand circuit and around, and we'll land at the airfield. So, time to jump back into the cockpit here. And, nope. No turning. We're going to start at descent. Start bringing her down to 1,000 feet. head in. And I'm going to... I want you at 22 as my reference point. There we go. Just watch the hills here. Bring it on at a little bit of an angle, avoid the built-up terrain. There's the hangars. There's everybody over there heading in for the airfield. Very good. Twilight time. Ah. Yeah, I think in another couple weeks we'll be able to leave the time as it is. We'll be, you know, close enough to the full summer and far enough north that it should be pretty good for all that. So we'll put on. Forgot our strobes. Beacons and strobes are on. Keep descending down to 1,000 feet. Should be I think there's a lifter out in front of one of the Airbus hangars as well, so that should be pretty interesting. Everybody's heading into the field. I'm fine with that. A 1,000 feet coming up. They're leveled off again. There we go. So that short little stubby runway between the buildings there, which will be to the right, is where we're going to park. They use that as an apron. Oh, yeah, there, I can see a lifter down there. Extra room at the top end here for the turn. There's parallel to the end of the runway, so masters on, avionics on, megs on, both. Mixture is rich, landing lights on, and throttle coming back to 1500 RPM. Speed decreasing, holding 1,000 feet. Flaps 1. Trim for 65 or 60 knots. There's flaps 2. Trim for 65. face turn. I'm sure I've said this before, but this stuff is so much easier in real life when you can feel what's happening with the airplane. Trim kind of overreacts a little bit, but that's fine. Here's the runway. Feet. All right, let's make our turn. Speed's a little fast. Keep trimming her back. Down on the throttles. So the Mighty Mackerel's doing a curving approach. 500 feet. Dark Fury's in below me. Got a feeling I've got an Airbus coming right up behind me as well. Alright, a little low. Trimmed about 66. Drag it slightly. It's fine. There's the blast covers. And we don't want to touch down until we're beyond the threshold. In this case, because it's displaced, is the green lines. You touch down before that, they get nasty with you. There's the Airbus, throttles back, hold it off, and we're down. And there's the Beluga. Mighty Mackerel, I see you sitting on your tail, so yeah, that's obviously you're in a Spitfire. Sure why it didn't show. All right, so we're going to come off of here. Flaps up. We're going to taxi forward. Park on this disused runway, which will be our apron. So strobes are off, landing lights are off, taxi lights are on, flaps are up, and we are at our destination. Just gonna face the Airbuses. There we go. Parking brake is on. Engine's off. And we'll get rid of the logbook. Doing this, are we? Okay, camera mode. Showcase. Camera drone. There we go. Wow, it's quite the crowd coming in. That's odd. Yeah, I haven't had that since we did the one at Llanbedr when we all landed that time. That landing there was fine for me, so it wasn't too bad. So I see Eastbird's coming in similar, Nick's coming in. Mighty Mackerel and his tail wheel piper. I don't know. Which you said that's a flying iron Spitfire? That's odd. I think Donut Man is right beside me, backing up the A320. Where'd Talia go? She was here a minute ago. I don't know if that ground loop knocked her out. Looks like Christian's just hovering over there, getting in some hover practice. So Donut Man, you must be happy here. You're back where it all began for your Airbus. It's weird. Yeah, Dark, I've started that little Spitfire group. We're gonna do some group Spitfire flights soon as well, so should be pretty good. There's Donut Man. I just saw him up here. So everybody safely in. I think that's everybody landed. Similars there. Nick's coming in. Oh, there's Talia over there. Ooh, that's a nice paint scheme you got there, Donut. I like it. There he is. Well, it's quite a eclectic group of airplanes we're starting to get together for these flights. And helicopters, Spits, aerobatic airplanes, an airliner. Go figure. So as soon as Talia's over here, everyone can grab their photos. So thank you very much for joining us on today's flight. This is number 4. If you haven't already, hit the like button, please. Consider subscribing if you haven't. Bell notification, all that good stuff. What do they do? The like, comment, subscribe thing. Whatever. Glad you're enjoying the flights. We're getting some really good scenery here, and it's going to continue. I think we're not even halfway through yet, so still got a lot of legs to go. A lot of great scenery to see. And can you do the Michael Caine quote there, Wayne, on the Spitfire? So thank you very much for joining us. Glad you had a good time, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.